The alley reeked of stale grease and forgotten promises, a stench that clawed at Daniel's throat as he crouched behind a dumpster, heart hammering like a trapped animal. The flickering street lamp cast jagged shadows, and there, under its sickly glow, stood Lila, his wife of 12 years, handing a paper bag to a frail, wheelchair-bound girl who haunted this corner every night. The girl, barely a teenager, her clothes threadbare and her eyes hollow, always asked for leftovers from the diner where Lila worked late shifts. Daniel had followed her tonight, driven by a gnawing unease that had festered for weeks, her late hours, her distracted glances, the way her laughter had turned brittle. What he saw now wasn't charity. It was a transaction, and the weight of it crushed him. Daniel's breath hitched as Lila knelt, her voice soft but urgent, words he couldn't catch over the hum of distant traffic. The girl's trembling hands took the bag, but her gaze darted nervously, as if she knew something Daniel didn't. His fingers tightened around the edge of the dumpster, the cold metal biting into his palms. Lila wasn't just giving scraps. There was something else, something hidden in the way her shoulders tensed, the way she glanced back toward the diner's neon sign like a thief checking for witnesses. For months, Daniel had dismissed the signs. The faint scent of cologne on her uniform, not his. The texts she deleted before bed, her phone screen always tilted away. The way she'd stopped touching him, her hands retreating to her lap like they were guarding secrets. He'd rationalized it all, single dad, overworked nurse, 2 kids at home, and a marriage stretched thin by sleepless nights and mounting bills. Of course she was distant. Of course she was tired. But tonight, something had snapped. When Lila said she was staying late again, her eyes wouldn't meet his, and the lie hung in the air like damp rot. So he followed her, leaving their kids with a neighbor, his gut churning with dread. Now, watching her with this girl, Daniel's mind raced. Was this her lover's kid? A secret family? The thought was absurd, but it clawed at him. Lila stood, brushing her hands on her apron, and the girl wheeled away, disappearing into the alley's throat. Daniel's legs burned to move, to confront her, but he stayed frozen, his pulse a drumbeat of doubt. What if he was wrong? What if this was nothing, and he was just paranoid, tearing apart the only thing keeping his family afloat? He trailed her back to the diner, keeping to the shadows. The bell above the door jingled as she slipped inside, her silhouette merging with the glow of checkered floors and humming coffee machines. Daniel waited, his breath fogging in the chilly night air, until a man emerged from the back entrance, a cook, maybe, his apron stained with grease, his jaw shadowed with stubble. He lit a cigarette, and Lila joined him, her laugh low and intimate, a sound Daniel hadn't heard in years. The man's hand grazed her arm, lingering too long, and Daniel's stomach lurched. He wanted to scream, to storm over and demand answers, but his feet were lead, anchored by the fear of what he'd hear. Inside, the diner was a haze of fluorescent light and clinking dishes. Daniel slipped in, taking a booth in the corner, his hoodie pulled low. Lila didn't notice him. She moved with a lightness he hadn't seen at home, her smile easy as she chatted with the cook, Mark, his name tag read. Daniel's hands shook as he clutched a menu, the words blurring. He overheard fragments of their conversation, her voice teasing, his low and conspiratorial. "You sure she won't talk?" Mark said, nodding toward the alley. Lila's smile faltered. "She knows better," she replied, her tone sharp, like a blade sliding into place. Daniel's mind reeled. Who was she? The girl in the wheelchair. And why did Lila sound so calculated? He remembered the bag, the way the girl had clutched it like it was more than food. Drugs. Money. The thought was a punch to his chest. Lila, his Lila, who'd cradled their newborn son through fevered nights, who'd laughed with him over cheap wine in their tiny apartment. Could she be this person? He wanted to deny it, to cling to the woman he'd loved, but the evidence was piling up like ash. He followed her home that night, silent in the car, the kids asleep in the back. Lila's hand rested on his knee, a gesture that once felt like home but now burned with betrayal. "You okay?" she asked, her voice soft, almost convincing. He nodded, afraid his voice would crack and spill everything. At home, he lay awake, her steady breathing beside him a cruel mockery. The next night, he followed her again. The girl was there, same spot, same bag. This time, Daniel crept closer, close enough to see the girl's hands tremble as she opened it. No food. Just a stack of bills, tucked beneath a napkin. His heart shattered, the pieces jagged and raw. Lila wasn't just cheating, she was entangled in something darker, something that tainted every memory of her. He confronted her the next morning, after the kids left for school. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast, the air thick with tension. "Who's the girl, Lila?" he asked, his voice low, trembling. Her eyes widened, then narrowed, a flash of defiance. "What are you talking about?" she said, but her hands fidgeted, betraying her. "Don't lie to me," he snapped, the words erupting like a dam breaking. "I saw you. The alley. The money. Mark." Her face crumpled, but not with guilt, with anger. "You followed me," she hissed. "You don't trust me." The accusation stung, but he pressed on, demanding answers. Slowly, the truth unraveled. The girl was Mark's sister, paralyzed after a hit and run. Lila had been helping her, delivering cash from Mark's side hustle, selling diner supplies on the black market. Not an affair, but a betrayal all the same. She'd lied, hidden it, let him drown in doubt while she played accomplice. "Why didn't you tell me?" Daniel's voice broke, tears burning his eyes. Lila's gaze dropped, her voice barely a whisper. "I didn't want you to think less of me." The confession hung between them, heavy with guilt and shattered trust. He wanted to hate her, to walk away, but the love was still there, tangled in the wreckage. The girl's hollow eyes haunted him, a reminder of the cost of their choices. He could report them, end it all, but what would that do to his kids, to the fragile life they'd built? In the end, he stayed, not for Lila, but for the kids. The house felt colder now, the silence louder. Every night, he saw the girl in his mind, her wheelchair creaking down the alley, carrying secrets he could never unlearn. Lila's touch no longer warmed him, it was a reminder of the lies they now lived. The betrayal wasn't love, but it was close enough to break him.